Hi guys, and welcome back to the third episode of my Let's Play Travian on the Codex Victoria. So just coming in now, if I go over to the first village, you can see I've worked hard on culture points. I've got my main building up 20, market to 17, and I'm getting the academy up, because you can see each level at the higher levels, that was giving me 8 culture points there, and done the academy as well. And if we go over to the general tab, this is day 8 of the server with 2,666 players, ranked 60 in population, 34 in resources per day. Military not looking that great, and then culture points 22 per day and 22 so far, which is a solo account I'm really quite happy with. Going over to my second village now, you can see I've got one of each to 10 to get the resource buildings, and I've done the same with the main building, market and embassy. Going over to the third village here, I've got one woodcutter to level 10 to get the resource building up, and then I've done the same again with main building market. I just think it needs to get the embassy up here. And if I go over to the 15 cropper, I've simmed that really quickly, because I've been pushing so many resources into it, and I've already got level 10 cropland, and as you can see here, I've taken my first 50% oasis with it. So I'm quite happy with that. I've got troops in there as well, and then I'm just going down. The 15 cropper I wanted, unfortunately, has been settled, but this player's not very active, so I'm in talks with people in the alliance to get someone to help me catter that down. Going to the culture points here, you can see 1,000 per day, and we're currently partying in the first 3 villages constantly, which I'm really happy with. And then going back and then onto troops again, I've only got 635 clubs, and then a couple of scouts in that cropper. This is just a little bit of micro reading around. As you can see, I've changed alliances to Legion, currently ranked 10 with 34 players, but as you can see here, we've got a lot of good players in, and they've got really good coordination for taking new regions, settling in them, and getting the points up, because that's what you require for victory points and artifacts, which I'll be going into more a bit later. But as you can see, the actual inside of the cropper's not looking amazing. Now go back to this next clip here, you can see I've got some couple of level 9s up in the first village, and then I go over to the general tab. This is the next day on day 9, rank 47 in population, 31 in resources per day, and 20 and 21 in culture points, which is still looking quite good. As you can see, I've got some paladins in training here, and if I go to the second village, I am getting raided, but thanks to the amount of crannies I've got in here and the trade routes I set up to keep resources out at night, if you scroll down here, you can see they're not getting any resources at all. So I'm just building up the paladins there, and once I've got a good amount, I'll put them in there and catch a lot of troops. And then, as you can see, I've got 20 there. That was mainly to help me get the daily bonuses. This village here, I've finally got one of each to level 10, and I'm just getting up the resource buildings. Still haven't worked too well on culture points on this village here. And then going over to the cropper, hasn't grown much since the last one, just started to get a few level 9s up, but I'm actually getting the residents out. And I've got a friend to help me catapult this village, so as you can see, it's already gone down to 18 population, and we've had no resistance at all. So there was no point in me getting catapults since I knew someone who had them. Just still a couple of clubs in that village, and starting to get the paladins in the spawn village. Culture points, I'm here still just showing off that I'm partying so much, and I've started parties in my 15 cropper now as well. At some point I need to start getting the town halls up, just to make the parties faster, to get even more culture points. And actually on the residents here, culture points tab, you can see we need 441, but we're making 1,155 a day, and we've got the parties finishing, so we'll be settling very soon. Statistic wise, I just thought I'd go over to the top 10 here, just show I've rated 300k res with the few clubs I've had, which I'm quite happy with, but you can see there's a lot of very high raiders on this server. So that was that clip there. Going on to the next one. Starting on the general tab again, this is the same day, day 10 actually. I don't know why I'm going through this again, haven't really changed that much apart from culture points, just gone up to 19 per day and 18 so far. And as you can see, I've got settlers going out, and then unfortunately I was raiding quite a bit, so I'd have to go through all of these to the last page here. But for our 5th village, we are settling the 150% 15 cropper. We catapulted it down, and then as soon as we did, I sent my settlers off to make sure no one else would think, and we've got a couple of big villages here which could maybe be chiefing targets later. just looking at, but I'm going to have to be able to look up fend myself there since I don't have many alliance players like near where the cropper is at the moment. As you can see here, just simming up these villages slowly. Getting level 9s and 10s is quite expensive when you're still trying to make troops. As you can see in this second village, I've got my paladins in there, and I just dumped them in there because I was still getting raided, but luckily in each one I managed to kill 40 clubs each, hardly lost any paladins on each one. So, and then I was getting micro raided, then when he saw the troops were dying he would do a big attack, so I'd pull the paladins out and then put them back in to defend the micros when he had me again. So here just raiding, building that up, and then culture points, I don't know why I keep checking this, but I'm just showing how quickly they're growing. So I'm already up to 1300 with constant parties still. And then troop wise, just grown up to 1000 clubs and got some paladins in my spawn, and then in the cropper I got them from an adventure. So finally, for the 5th village, so first of all, I've got almost level 10s in the first cropper, and then for the 5th village got the 150% cropper. If I go over here, I'll just show off the victory points quickly. So this is the new system to win the game, where your alliance has to capture regions, and regions give a certain amount of victory points per day, and at the end the alliance with the most victory points wins. So day 11, rank 23 in resources, 17 per day in culture, 17 per day and 18 so far in culture. So you can see day 11 already settled my 5th village. And then just going back to culture points, showing off I'm still partying and I'm already up to 1500 culture points per day. I just thought I'd say this is probably one of the first mistakes I made in the server, which was settling the 15 cropper as a Teuton. As you'll see later, Egyptian croppers so much better because of their boost, and especially on this server where you can have multiple tribes, Egyptian cropper should have been the way forward, so I should have got someone else to settle it and then me chiefed it off them, but I wanted the brewery. Just going through my villages here, you can see I've started to really push on culture points, getting the academy, embassy and marketplace up quite high in all the villages because I want to keep pumping villages out. So that is the update for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one.